Hey guys, Janer Jack back here with another video. So, we have another breathing video today, just going on proper breathing patterns while we're working out. So, it is very imperative that we do have proper breathing patterns because we're under a lot more duress and our body needs more oxygen to be efficient, to burn our substrates, and to just be able to continue these whatever physical activity we're doing. So, any activity, any exercise, whether we're using weights, whether using our body, there's always two halves to it. And so I use the terms positive and negative. They're a little more simplistic terms, they're not the technical terms, but that's what we're going to use for today. So the positive is the first half of any movement when we're generating force. Whether we're lifting weight, pushing weight above our head, or bicep curling up like this. Whether it's just a simple body squat like this. That positive is when we're generating force. And then the negative is where we're resisting the force of gravity, resisting that control, going slower. So in that bicep curl, this is where I'm generating force to lift it up. Here, if I just drop the weight, it's gonna fall. Gravity's gonna take it down. So this is where I start to control the weight and go slower here. So it's important to identify these positive and negatives. For number one, to control the speed. We're going to go nice and slow during this negative to make sure we're improving and maximizing the amount of blood flow in our body, and we're also maximizing the amount of growth hormones released in our body. Studies have proven that when we're going slow in this negative, you are maximizing that release. Regardless of your body type, what type of exercise, it holds true. So, now we have to sync in our movements and our speed with our breathing. You want your body and your movements, your breathing and your movements to be aligned. But with that being said, you don't want your breathing to reflect your movements. You want your movements to reflect your breathing. So let's get a nice healthy breathing going first. In through the nose, out through the mouth. And once you're ready, you're going to start the movements to the rhythm of your breathings. Nice deep breath before you do any exercise, and you exhale on that positive. Exhale on the execution. Nice slow inhale on that negative. Exhale on that positive. So it's important that we're maintaining this, and it's also important that we're always aware when it's time to breathe. Because I know it can be complicated because all different exercises, some are pushing, some are pulling, some are just resistance. But an easy way to always keep yourself in check is to just inhale before the movement. Now, either we've done sports in the past and we have had some experience with this, there's so many things we can use to compare. Any main event, say we're throwing a football, we're throwing a baseball, any type of ball really, and we don't think about it because our breathing's subconscious, but we take a breath before we throw. Or if we're doing a jump, if we're diving into a pool, any of these type of events, whether we're just a cheerleader and we're doing a jump in the air, we're always breathing before we execute this. So just take a second and do that before anything, machines, where they're using free weights or even body weights. Exhale on the execution, guys. So the only thing that can kind of trip me up that always is I know it's very popular exercise is the squat. This is the only thing that gets a little confusing because the positive and negative isn't completely clear. Because that first initial movement here, we're going down. And this is the negative because we're still having that resistance and controlling the way down we go. And we're building up some kinetic energy. When we're down here, then we're pushing up. So I didn't want to mention that one particularly because it's the one that kind of throws everybody off. But for every other exercise, just breathing first before your execution is key, okay guys? That's all I got for breathing during exercises, and I'll get you on the next one.